Good morning. What is up, my people? What is up? They say you're not supposed to take teasers in college football. Well, I guess the luck of the Irish was on our side yesterday. This is the free three. We've got a few more best bets on the way again today. Why? Because it's game 2 of the college football playoff. And you know what, my friends? We have got a great marquee matchup tonight between the Longhorns and the Buckeyes of Ohio State. And what are we going to go with today? We're going to find out right now. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video. I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day. I will just try to get to the bag together and make that money. And the reason why I said the luck of the Irish was on our side yesterday was because we took the teaser yesterday, and that was the bet that we were able to cash in because we were able to win on the hook on the total. Now, James Franklin, can we blame him? I don't know, but we can blame Aller. I don't know what he was looking at, man. That throw, that pass. And I was thinking about Ohio or Penn State playing for overtime. Like, I thought about it, but when I was rewatching the highlights this morning and I realized, you know what? They had 2 timeouts. There was like 50 seconds. It made sense to be aggressive, but you can't throw the ball in the middle of the field right there. And I was rooting for Penn State, but that's why I put them on the teaser, because I just know from betting Penn State games all the time that you just can't trust James Franklin in the big game. And we can't even really blame him for this one. It was a great game, back and forth, heavyweight fight, but just a tough loss for us there. We also took the under yesterday. That missed. And then our other bet, a best bet of the day in college basketball, was in the UNF Eastern Kentucky game, and that missed as well. So 1 and 2 on the day officially here on the channel, but we did add a few extra plays. I want to show you guys what we did yesterday on the stream. We added a few extra plays. It was overall a down day for us. Wasn't our best day, like you guys said. You can see we had the under 45.5, but we did get our teaser right. Shout out to going over that key number 51. We were able to hook and get the win. Eastern Kentucky scored 79, and again, we needed 87. We lost a late night 4-legger. I can't believe Washington State lost to Pacific in overtime at minus 1,600, man. Money line favorite. You can see we cashed on all these other money lines right here, but that's what set us up for the money line parlay that we cooked up on stream after the show yesterday. So again, if you guys are newer to the channel, what we do is we do a best bet video here real quick. I give you my 3 picks and plays that I like the best, and then we hop on stream on Twitch after this, so this way we can talk a little bit more about the board, some of the other games that are out there, any other leans. So if you guys want to join us after the best bets video, we're going to be on Twitch at Noble Living. You guys can check us out over there. All right, so for today, let's dive into today's matchup between Ohio State and the Texas Longhorns. It's going to be a good game. You guys know that, like I know it. The question's really going to be the offenses. Simple. And the reason why I say that is because it's Quinn Ewers. He's a great player. He's been in college for a long time. He has the experience. But it's sometimes in these situations where you have to question his ability to deliver. We questioned that last night with Penn State's quarterback, and I feel like we have to do the same thing with Texas here. Texas has been great this season. Granted, they went to the SEC championship game. It's been a great season for them, but they have a lot of question marks and concerns, and I understand the hype around Ohio State. I'm going to come out and flat and say it. This is too many points. +6 is an overreaction, in my personal opinion, to what Ohio State has looked like thus far in the playoffs. I love the way they've looked. Crushed Tennessee 42-7. Crushed Oregon 41-21. But the thing is, both of those losses are not that impressive. Wins, are not that impressive to me. Now, to be in the semifinals of the first inaugural 12-team playoff is impressive. I'm not trying to undermine what Ohio State's done thus far. But Tennessee, of all the SEC teams, truthfully, of all the first-round teams, they were probably the weakest, if we're going to be honest. Then you go the next game to Oregon in a neutral floor or neutral field against Oregon, a team where you have the revenge angle because you just lost them earlier in the season. You faced them already, and it's a neutral field, so it's not really like it's a true environment, and you played a game before that, and Oregon's been resting. That's advantage Ohio State. They took advantage of that. Great for them. I love the adjustments that Chip Kelly and this team has made after they lost to Michigan. They were kept trying to run the ball. And now they're getting Will Howard out in space early. They're throwing the ball on early downs, just opening up the entire field, the entire game for them. Their offense looks great. Texas, we know how strong their defense has been all season long. People kept raving about this Texas defense. Top 5 in points per game given up. I think less than 15 points per game they've given up. But so far in the playoffs, 24 points they gave up to Clemson, 31 points last week to Arizona State. And that was an Arizona State game where we were biting our fingernails. We were worried that Texas, they really should have lost, if we're being honest. There was a missed call, or targeting call, that if that's called, Texas probably loses that game. We're not going to get into it. But what concerns me, Cade Klubner throwing for 340 yards. Sam Levitt tearing them up for 222 yards. Cam Scatterboot running for almost 300 yards. We know Chip Kelly from his days back in Oregon. We know what he can do offensively. We've seen what this Ohio State team can do. Points are going to be scored, but I just don't know how many and how close that Quinn Ewers can keep this Texas team. They have the weapons, they have the speed, they have the coaching, and I think Sarkisian gets the advantage here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go to our old trusty screen here real quickly. What we're going to do here is go to action, and we're going to go to the game for today. Let's go to our odds, college football. I'm going to be honest, it's going to be cheeky. You guys might not like it, but we're going to go with a tease piece. And I'm going to go Texas plus 12. You give me 2 possessions with Texas? You give me 2 possessions with Texas? I love that. Give me plus 12. And what we're also going to do here is we're going to take this over down from 53 down to 47. So we can expand this real quickly so you can see it right here. 47.5, Texas plus 12. Final score of this game can easily be 28-24. Can easily be 28-21. And guess what? We get over this 47.5 number. I do lean the overall over. A lot of people under. I'm not saying I use that to dictate my picks. I'm going the other side of other individuals. But I can see the first half under hitting, similar to what we saw yesterday. And then these teams figuring it out in the second half, like what we saw yesterday. But I think we can get the insurance that this is not going to be a blowout. Texas is going to be ready to fight. They're battle tested. They played Georgia twice. They played in the SEC. This is not going to be a cakewalk, but Ohio State has a lot of momentum. Rightfully so. They've got a great program, but this is too many points. This is an overreaction on a neutral field. And truthfully, this game is in Austin, so it's kind of like advantage Texas. Or in Arlington, excuse me. I know it's going to be hard because it's snowing over there, but that's advantage Texas. Texas plus 12, over 47.5, 1 unit down on our teaser. So I know some people don't like taking teasers in college football, but it's been blessing us. It's been doing good. But if you want an individual pick, I would take Texas plus 6, in all honesty. Now, going over to the hardwood, let's craft our college basketball moneyline parlay of the day. Those have been cashing in for us. All right. I do think that Texas wins this game. I would sprinkle them on the money line at plus 200 as well. I think it's an overreaction for Ohio State. Great. I'm excited for them. And I think the winner of this game wins the national championship. So if you want to just do it, I saw Matt Peralt do that on Daily Juice. He took Ohio State to win the national championship at plus 112, plus 110, and then he took Texas to win this game on the money line. So it's like basically you're hedging it each way. I mean, you could do something like that. But I think Ohio State, great team, great offense, great defense. Their run defense is the key. But Quinn Ewers is going to be the guy that we need to pay attention to. And I think that the way that defense is can keep them in the game. So in college basketball, we see huge favorite here in Wisconsin. We're going to go real quickly through the board. We're going to go Central Connecticut. We're going to go Maryland. And then you can just do those two for minus 122, or you can do Wisconsin to get to minus 104. That's going to be the 3-legger, right? So let's talk about these teams real quick. Obviously, Maryland is the support leg of the parlay. You guys know that we always have one leg that's going to be the one that's going to keep it standing, and that's Maryland here, as they're taking on a UCLA team here that's in shambles. Maryland's lost 2 straight games, but both of those games were on the West Coast on the road to get their new Big Ten conference play going. They have to win this game. It is a must-win situation. You do not want to fall fall down to 1-4. You do not want to lose 3 games in a row. Meanwhile, UCLA has to travel from all the way across the country after dropping a home game by nearly 20 points against Michigan. You saw their head coach, Mick Cronin. If you remember him, he used to be at Cincinnati for all those years. He called them out. He said that we're soft. These boys don't play hard. They don't like to play. They've lost 3 of their last 4 games. It's worrisome right now in UCLA. And now you have to travel all the way across the country in a very tough place to play in College Park. Maryland at home, must-win situation, 1-3 in conference. I like them. Ken Palm has a 4-point win. You can see offensively some of the numbers here. We're number 1 in blocking, number 8 in steals. So they're just great in terms of like not getting their shots blocked. They're not turning over the ball. They are efficient even though they play very fast. You love to see that. This is a Maryland team. I like them at home today. The other legs that we put in there was Central Connecticut. They're big favorites today against Wagner. This is more of a fade on Wagner. As you can see, they're 344th on Ken Palm, so that's one of the bottom in all the college basketball. They've lost back-to-back games, Wagner has, and then you can see a lot of their opponents are either 250, 280, or non-D1 opponents. Meanwhile, Central Connecticut, they've been able to beat St. Joseph's, a top 100 team. They lost to Providence on the road in a very tough place to play by 4 points. They've won 5 straight games. As you can see, they're 2-0 in conference. So this is what you're looking for. They've played good teams like UMass Lowell. This is the same UMass team that beat Dayton this Central Connecticut team beat. So that's why we're taking them against Wagner. And then the other leg is Wisconsin. This is just really a fade on Minnesota. Minnesota let another one get away from them. Double OT home loss against Ohio State. That's tough, man. It's hard to rebound against that against a very tough team in Wisconsin. They should be able to win. Ken Palm has this a 10-point, 12-point win there. So that's our 3-team moneyline parlay of the day. Minus 105, Central Connecticut. We've got Maryland, and then we also got Wisconsin for 1 unit down. That is our moneyline parlay. For our final best bet of the day, let's go over to the NBA. It's been a little while since we've talked a little bit of NBA on here, and I'm going to go to a player prop for you guys that I really like. So let's go down to the Boston Celtics and the Sacramento Kings. The Kings 18-19 on the year, going to Boston to take on the Celtics at 27-10. Celtics have been a great team, and they're actually finally healthy. Porzingis should be playing in this game. Jaylen Brown should be playing. But one guy that I'm really going to be singling out is if we go to his points here, we're going to scroll all the way down, and that's Mr. Derek White. The line has already moved from minus 125 that I had it at. So now it's at minus 130. I will still lay that. Over 14.5 points for Derek White tonight against the Sacramento Kings. Why do we like that? Well, let's go to his game log. Let's see what Derek White's been doing recently. This is StatMuse. I love using StatMuse. This video is not sponsored by them, but we can see recently that his game log, 23 points against the Rockets, 26 here against Minnesota, 16 against Toronto, 17 against the Pacers. So he's literally gone over this number in 4 of the last 5 games. He had 11 against OKC, and OKC is a very strong team, actually one of the top 5 defensive teams in the NBA. So to see him score 11 points in that game and go under, that doesn't really affect me or bother me too much. I like the consistency that I'm seeing here, over in 4 or 5, over in 6 of the last 8. That looks really good for me. And then another thing that's really got me with Derek White here is let's look at the Sacramento Kings. Well, against the shooting guard position, and if we go to the points, they give up the 3rd most points to shooting guards. You give up the 3rd most points to shooting guards. You're a middle of the pack team defensively, and then you kind of have a target on your back right now because ever since you fired your head coach, you figured out some way to win post Mike Brown era. So look at this win streak, 5 in a row. Well, Boston's going to be prepared for you guys at home today, and I think this is a good game for Sacramento to kind of test themselves. They're obviously against the defending champions, so we'll go here for minus 130 for 1 unit down on the Kings there. So real quickly here for the free 3 best bets of the day, 3 picks that we're going with on this card. We're going to go with our 3-team steam, Central Connecticut, Maryland, and Wisconsin. We've got Derek White over 15 points, and then our teaser in the semifinals between Texas and Ohio State as our 3-team parlay of the day. All right, my friends? Appreciate you guys for tapping in this morning. I do apologize about the issues there. And as always, let's get to that money. Let me know what you guys like. Drop a comment below with your favorite best bets. And like I said, we'll be on Twitch here for the next 20-30 minutes talking about a few more plays. And then we'll take it from there. All right, my friends? Be safe out there. Let's get to that bread. Let's have a great night.